It all began with a single picture, one moment, one caption, one bombshell that sent shockwaves through social media and cracked the very foundation of a marriage the world thought had already weathered every possible storm. Fans had barely recovered from the last round of whispers when Jasmine, the woman who has been at the center of Kirk and Rasheeda's deepest marital scars, decided to drop what can only be described as the most reckless move yet. On a quiet evening, as followers mindlessly scrolled through their feeds, Jasmine's Instagram post lit up timelines like a grenade. The photo seemed harmless at first, just a beach shot, crystal waters behind her, sunglasses perched on her face. But it was the caption that stopped everyone in their tracks. Vacation vibes with hubby. Those 5 words were enough to send hearts racing, jaws dropping, and Rasheeda's entire world spinning. Fans flooded the comments within minutes. Was Jasmine actually calling Kirk her hubby? Was this a joke, a taunt, or a dangerous truth she finally decided to flaunt? Screenshots spread faster than wildfire, spilling into group chats, fan pages, and gossip blogs, each one dissecting every detail of the post. The ripple effect was immediate. People tagged Rasheeda nonstop, demanding answers, while others accused Jasmine of trying to stir chaos. But the silence from Kirk and Rasheeda's camp only made the speculation worse. The air grew heavy with suspense. Was this Jasmine's way of exposing a secret vacation? Did Kirk betray Rasheeda yet again, choosing his past mistakes over the woman who had fought for their family countless times? Or was Jasmine simply weaponizing social media to claw her way back into the spotlight? One thing was certain. The damage was already done. That caption, that single word hubby, carried enough weight to reopen old wounds and fuel new battles. And behind the filters, the hashtags, and the endless comments, one question burned hotter than all others. How would Rasheeda respond when the woman who nearly tore her marriage apart declared her husband as her own? Tonight, we're diving into the scandal that fans are calling the ultimate betrayal. The Insta bombshell that threatens to shatter everything. The moment Jasmine's photo hit timelines, whispers turned into roars. And the comment sections filled with fire emojis, broken hearts, and endless speculation about what this meant for Kirk and Rasheeda. Fans were stunned, not only because of the word hubby, but because the picture had details that didn't lie. The background wasn't some random Pinterest-worthy beach. Eagle-eyed fans zoomed in and matched it to a location Kirk had been spotted at just days before in a now-deleted story. The same palm trees, the same stretch of sand. Even the reflection of a familiar watch in the corner of the shot, all clues pointing to Kirk being right there beside her. People couldn't stop asking, had Jasmine and Kirk really gone on vacation together, right under Rasheeda's nose? Emotions ran high, and gossip pages lit up with theories. Some insisted Jasmine was trolling for attention, while others argued this was undeniable proof that Kirk had fallen into the same trap that had nearly broken his marriage years ago. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was blindsided. According to insiders close to her, she was in the middle of filming a business segment for her boutique when her phone started buzzing nonstop. At first, she thought it was normal notifications, maybe a sale or a call from her team. But when she glanced down and saw her name tagged under Jasmine's picture, her heart dropped. Opening the app, she froze. There it was, Jasmine smiling boldly with the caption "Vacation vibes with hubby." Rasheeda's first reaction was disbelief. She whispered to herself, "Nah, she's not about to play me like this again." But as she scrolled through the thousands of comments tagging her name, anger started boiling. People weren't just tagging her, they were demanding she take action. Some even mocked her, saying she had defended Kirk too many times, and this was the ultimate humiliation. Kirk, on the other hand, was nowhere to be found. Rasheeda reportedly called him 3 times in a row, each one going straight to voicemail. Her frustration grew. To the outside world, she kept her composure, continuing her boutique appearance like nothing happened, but behind the scenes, she was fuming. When the cameras were off, she paced back and forth in her office, clutching her phone, muttering, "How could he let her do this? How could he let her play with my name like this?" By evening, the post had gone viral. Major blogs picked it up, with headlines screaming, "Jasmine claims Kirk as her hubby, vacation scandal rocks Rasheeda's world, and will Kirk ever change?" Fans were glued to their screens, waiting for a response from any of the 3 involved. Kirk's silence only fueled the flames, and Jasmine, enjoying the attention, doubled down by posting another cryptic story, a boomerang of clinking wine glasses with the caption, "Cheers to us." No faces were shown, but everyone assumed the second glass belonged to Kirk. The tension finally boiled over when Rasheeda decided to confront Jasmine directly. Sources say she stormed into Jasmine's DMs, sending a fiery message that read, You're playing a dangerous game. Don't disrespect me with your little captions. Jasmine, unbothered, allegedly replied with a smirk emoji and the words, "If the shoe fits." That small exchange leaked online, and fans went wild. Screenshots circulated, and suddenly, the feud wasn't just speculation, it was real, raw, and happening in real time. Back at home, Kirk finally picked up his phone late at night. Rasheeda, voice shaking with fury, demanded answers. "Where are you? What is this Jasmine mess I'm seeing all over the internet?" Kirk, sounding tired, brushed it off. "Babe, you know she's just trying to get attention. You really think I'd let her call me her hubby? Come on." But Rasheeda wasn't buying it. "So explain the beach. Explain why your watch is in her picture. Explain why you've been dodging my calls all day." Silence followed on the line, and that silence was louder than any denial. The argument escalated quickly, with Rasheeda accusing Kirk of repeating old mistakes, and Kirk insisting she was overreacting. "It's not what it looks like," he said, his voice raised, but the damage was done. Trust had already been fragile, and now it felt shattered all over again. Rasheeda ended the call in tears, throwing her phone onto the couch as her sister tried to comfort her. Meanwhile, fans dissected every piece of evidence, some even pointing out that Kirk had been wearing the same shirt in a fan photo a few days earlier that matched the reflection in Jasmine's sunglasses. Memes flooded the internet, mocking the situation and painting Jasmine as the villain who refused to let the past die. But surprisingly, some fans blamed Rasheeda, saying she had allowed Kirk too many chances and now had to face the consequences. By the next morning, cameras caught Rasheeda arriving at her boutique, looking composed but clearly drained. Paparazzi shouted questions. "Rasheeda, are you leaving Kirk? Did Jasmine expose the truth?" She ignored them, but her silence spoke volumes. Inside, though her team said she was weighing her next move carefully, she didn't want to react out of pure rage, but she also knew the longer she stayed silent, the more control Jasmine had over the narrative. The drama spilled into family life as well. Kirk's kids reportedly saw the post and were embarrassed, asking him directly, "Why would she call you hubby? Are you really with her?" Kirk denied it in front of them, saying, "Don't believe the internet. That girl is messy." But his kids weren't convinced, and the tension at home grew heavier. As the day unfolded, Jasmine continued her campaign, posting song lyrics about winning and never being second. Fans speculated she was directly shading Rasheeda, and the comments became a battlefield. Supporters of Rasheeda flooded her page with hearts and encouragement, while Jasmine's followers egged her on, telling her she was the real winner. The family was left divided, the fans were split, and the future of Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage hung by a thread, dangling dangerously close to collapse. And just when people thought the drama couldn't get any messier, a new twist was about to hit that no one could have predicted. The following day, tension had reached a fever pitch. Social media was no longer buzzing, it was exploding. Gossip outlets refreshed their feeds every hour, eager to post the next development. Fans were glued to their screens, as if watching a live soap opera unfold in real time. The silence from Kirk and Rasheeda's side was deafening, and Jasmine knew exactly how to use it. Late that afternoon, she dropped yet another post, a candid shot of 2 plates of food on a balcony overlooking the ocean. The caption read, "Dinner with my man hits different when it's real love." She didn't show Kirk, but the implication was enough to ignite another wildfire. The plate on the right featured Kirk's well-known favorite grilled snapper with extra lime something fans immediately recognized from past episodes of the show. The details were too precise, too calculated, and the internet went into a frenzy. Inside their Atlanta home, Rasheeda reached her breaking point. Sitting across from Kirk at their dining table, she demanded clarity, her voice trembling with both rage and sorrow. "So now it's dinner with her too. Kirk, do you see what she's doing? Do you see how the whole world is laughing at me right now?" Kirk rubbed his forehead, trying to calm the storm. "I told you, this ain't what it looks like. She's using old pictures, stuff from years ago. She's recycling moments to stir up drama." Rasheeda shook her head. "Don't play me like I'm stupid. The food, the view, even your damn watch, it's all too specific. Are you really gonna stand here and tell me she's making this all up?" The room grew tense, the silence between them sharper than any words could cut. What Kirk didn't know was that Rasheeda had already decided to take matters into her own hands. Fed up with the humiliation, she contacted her closest friend, Kendra, and arranged a private meeting. In hushed tones over the phone, Rasheeda confessed, "I can't keep defending him if he's still entertaining her. This time, I need proof. Either he's guilty, or Jasmine is playing a dirty game." Kendra agreed to help, promising to use her connections to dig deeper. The plan was set. If Kirk wouldn't give her the truth, she would find it herself. Meanwhile, Jasmine wasn't slowing down. That evening, she went live on Instagram, smirking as thousands tuned in. "Y'all keep asking questions," she teased, sipping from a wine glass. "All I'ma say is, some men just can't stay away from real love. You can call it messy, but I call it destiny." Fans bombarded the comments with fire emojis and endless speculation, tagging Rasheeda relentlessly. Some begged Jasmine to stop, accusing her of disrespect. Others cheered her on, calling her fearless for exposing what they believed to be the truth. At one point during the live, a voice faintly laughed in the background, and Jasmine quickly turned off the camera. But it was too late. Viewers swore it sounded just like Kirk's laugh, reigniting the flames all over again. The fallout extended beyond fans and family. Business associates began questioning Rasheeda privately, wondering if the scandal would impact her brand. Sponsors hesitated to move forward with deals until the dust settled. One associate even warned, "You need to get ahead of this. Silence only makes it worse." The pressure weighed heavily on her. But Rasheeda knew any statement she made would either expose Kirk or give Jasmine more power. It was a no-win situation. As tensions rose, Kirk finally attempted to confront Jasmine. Sources close to him claimed he drove to her apartment late at night, furious over the chaos she was causing. "Why you dragging my name through the mud?" he allegedly shouted, pounding on her door. When she opened it, Jasmine leaned against the frame with a smug grin. "You know why? If you didn't want this out, you shouldn't have come back around." Their argument grew heated, with Jasmine insisting, "You're mine, Kirk, whether you want to admit it or not," while Kirk denied everything. Neighbors reported hearing raised voices, though neither admitted what truly went down inside. By the time Kirk stormed out, paparazzi had already caught him leaving her building, and the photos went viral within hours. The internet erupted. "Caught at Jasmine's house," headlines screamed. Fans shared the photos endlessly, with some writing, "This is the proof we needed." Others argued that appearances could be misleading, but the damage was undeniable. Rasheeda woke up to the images plastered all over her phone, her heart sinking deeper than ever before. Tears welled up as she whispered to herself, "How much more can I take?" Her family intervened, staging a private sit-down with both her and Kirk. Relatives and close friends gathered, trying to mediate the chaos. Voices clashed, emotions ran high, and the atmosphere grew suffocating. One relative told Kirk, "You're tearing this family apart with your lies and secrets." Rasheeda, holding back sobs, turned to him and asked one final question. "Did you or did you not go on that vacation with her?" The room fell into silence as all eyes turned to Kirk, waiting for an answer that could either save or destroy the marriage once and for all. But before he could respond, Rasheeda's phone buzzed with a new notification. Jasmine had just posted yet another bombshell, this time. A video clip of two hands clinking glasses under the moonlight, her caption reading, "Forever my hubby." And in that fleeting moment, the hand that appeared in the frame wore the exact same wedding ring Kirk had on his finger that night. Fans gasped. The family froze, and Rasheeda's world came crashing down all over again. This wasn't just messy anymore, this was war. The room erupted as soon as that video appeared on Rasheeda's phone. Gasps filled the air, voices overlapped, and accusations flew like daggers. Rasheeda, trembling, held her phone up for everyone to see, her voice cracking as she shouted, "This is your hand, Kirk. This is your ring. Stop lying to me, stop lying to everyone." Kirk jumped to defend himself, his face flushed with both anger and desperation. "That's not me. You think I'd be stupid enough to let her record me like that? Jasmine is playing games, and you're falling for it." But his protests sounded hollow, especially when family members whispered that the ring looked identical, down to the small scratch Kirk had gotten months ago. The doubt was impossible to erase. Fans online were already dissecting every frame of Jasmine's video. Some slowed it down, zoomed in, and posted side-by-side comparisons of Kirk's wedding band, insisting it was undeniable proof. Others tried to defend him, suggesting Jasmine had staged the video with someone else wearing a similar ring. But the majority of voices were merciless. "Kirk is caught again. Poor Rasheeda deserves better. He never changes." Hashtags like #JasmineBombshell and #KirkExposed began trending, while Rasheeda's supporters flooded her comments with messages urging her to leave him once and for all. Meanwhile, Kirk found himself trapped in a storm he couldn't easily explain away. He grabbed Rasheeda's hand during the heated family sit-down, pleading, "Baby, you gotta trust me. You know I wouldn't disrespect you like this. She's trying to destroy us." Rasheeda pulled her hand back, tears streaming down her face. "Trust? Do you even know what that word means anymore? You promised me after the last time that it was over, that she was out of our lives for good. and now the whole world is watching me get humiliated all over again." Her voice cracked, and her relatives looked on helplessly. Some nodding in agreement, others simply shaking their heads at the mess unfolding before them. At the same time, Jasmine relished every second of the chaos she had created. She posted yet another story with a sly grin, mouthing along to a song lyric. "He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time." The internet exploded once more, with fans tagging Rasheeda under the clip, pushing her closer to a breaking point. For Jasmine, this wasn't just about Kirk, it was about power, about reclaiming the spotlight, and about making Rasheeda feel the sting of betrayal in the most public way possible. Behind closed doors, Kirk tried to do damage control. He met with his manager and a close friend, both of whom advised him to go public with a statement. "You gotta shut this down before it ruins your brand," his manager urged. But Kirk hesitated, knowing that no matter what he said, the visual evidence was damning. "If I deny it, they'll call me a liar. If I admit it, I lose Rasheeda. Either way, I lose," he muttered, slumping in his chair. The tension escalated further when Rasheeda's mother stepped in. Sitting with her daughter late at night, she urged her to think of her worth. "Baby girl, how many times are you gonna let him embarrass you? You're strong. You built your own empire. You don't need him dragging you down." Rasheeda, wiping her tears, whispered, "But this isn't just about MITs, about our family, our kids. I can't just throw it all away." Her mother placed a firm hand on hers. "And what about your peace? What about your dignity?" The question hung heavy in the air, forcing Rasheeda to confront the painful reality she had been avoiding. Meanwhile, the media frenzy intensified. Entertainment shows ran back-to-back segments analyzing the scandal, with some even interviewing so-called sources close to Jasmine, who claimed she and Kirk had been secretly meeting for months. One anonymous insider declared, "This vacation wasn't a one-time thing. They've been in contact for a while, and Jasmine finally decided to make it public." Whether true or not, the statement only poured gasoline on an already raging fire. The pressure grew unbearable when Rasheeda's own fans began staging an online campaign under the hashtag #StandWithRasheeda, urging her to leave Kirk and reclaim her independence. Thousands of women shared their own stories of betrayal, rallying behind her as a symbol of strength. But even as her followers stood by her, Rasheeda struggled privately, torn between loyalty, love, and the repeated wounds of betrayal. Late one evening, Kirk attempted another conversation, hoping to calm the storm. Sitting across from Rasheeda on their living room couch, he spoke softly, his voice heavy with regret. "Look, I know I messed up in the past. I know I hurt you. But I swear on everything, this time it's different. She's lying. She's trying to ruin what we have. Please don't let her win." Rasheeda looked at him with weary eyes, her voice cold but steady. "You say that every time. But every time, it's me who ends up looking like a fool. I don't know if I can keep doing this." Their marriage hung by a thread, and both of them knew it. And just when it seemed the drama had reached its peak, Jasmine prepared to unleash her most shocking move, yet a revelation so explosive it promised to change the narrative forever. For while the world debated whether Kirk was guilty, Jasmine hinted that she had more receipts tucked away, waiting for the perfect moment to drop the ultimate bombshell. The bombshell came on a Saturday night, when fans least expected it. Jasmine, dressed to perfection in a silky red dress, posted a video that sent shockwaves across every corner of the internet. She was sitting in what looked like a luxury hotel suite, holding her phone at just the right angle, with Kirk's unmistakable voice in the background saying, "We ain't got time for all that, just pour the drink." Within seconds, the clip spread like wildfire, screenshotted and reposted on every gossip blog imaginable. Hashtags blew up, and fans declared it the final nail in Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage coffin. Comment sections erupted. "That's him. No denying now. Rasheeda deserves better. And Jasmine always wins in the end." Rasheeda saw it too, and the devastation was instant. Sitting alone in her bedroom, she clutched her phone, replaying the clip over and over, her face pale, her breathing shallow. The sound of his voice, the same voice she'd trusted for years, the same voice that had promised her loyalty, was now being used as proof of betrayal. Her body trembled as she whispered to herself, "After everything, you still chose her." The walls around her felt like they were closing in, and for the first time, she considered the unthinkable, walking away for good. But the saga didn't stop there. Jasmine fueled the flames further by posting a caption alongside the video. "When a man can't leave you alone, it's not a fling, it's fate." The words dripped with smugness, aimed directly at Rasheeda. Fans tagged Rasheeda mercilessly, demanding a response, while others begged her to stay strong. Some even accused Jasmine of deliberately tormenting her to gain clout. No matter the motive, the strategy worked. Every outlet picked up the story, and the scandal became front-page gossip. Behind the scenes, Kirk was panicking. He tried calling Jasmine repeatedly, furious that she would post something so damaging, but she ignored his calls, leaving him to drown in the fallout. At home, Rasheeda refused to speak to him. The silence was louder than any screaming match, her cold shoulder cutting deeper than any insult. Kirk tried explaining. She set me up. She recorded me without my knowledge. It's not what it looks like. But Rasheeda wasn't buying it. You shouldn't have even been there for her to record you, she snapped, her eyes full of pain and fury. The drama soon spilled into their professional lives. A major brand that had partnered with Rasheeda's boutique quietly pulled back, citing image concerns. Rumors swirled that business at the boutique slowed down, with fans split between supporting her and pitying her. Meanwhile, Kirk's reputation plummeted, with memes mocking his endless excuses circulating non-stop. It's not what it looks like became a running joke online, plastered across GIFs and tweets that racked up millions of views. The pressure pushed Rasheeda to confide in her inner circle. Late one night, she gathered with her closest friends, pouring out her emotions. How many times can I forgive him before I lose myself completely? She asked, tears glistening in her eyes. One friend urged her to leave, saying, "You've built an empire on your own. You don't need him dragging you down." Another cautioned, "But think of the family. You've fought so hard to keep it together." The room was divided, and so was Rasheeda's heart. Meanwhile, Jasmine basked in the chaos she had created. She went live again, her smile sly, her tone dripping with arrogance. "People hate me for telling the truth, but I don't mind being the villain. At the end of the day, he knows where he wants to be." She paused, letting the comments flood in, before adding, "And trust me, I've got more where that came from." Fans exploded in the chat, demanding she show the receipts, while others called her a hoe. The suspense grew unbearable, leaving everyone wondering what else she had up her sleeve. But the true twist came when Jasmine hinted at something deeper. In one cryptic post, she shared a photo of herself holding what appeared to be a sonogram, with the caption, "Life's about to change forever." The internet froze. Was Jasmine pregnant? Was Kirk the father? Within minutes, the speculation became a wildfire, with fans and media alike going into overdrive. Some called it the ultimate betrayal, while others accused her of faking it just to keep the spotlight. Either way, the tension reached heights no one thought possible. When Rasheeda saw the post, her knees buckled, and she sank into a chair, clutching her head. "No. Not again. I can't go through this again," she whispered, memories of Kirk's past scandal with Jasmine flooding back. It felt like history was repeating itself, and the pain was unbearable. She stormed into the living room, where Kirk sat with his head in his hands. Throwing her phone onto the table, she demanded, "Tell me this isn't true. Tell me she's lying." Kirk's face went pale, his silence dragging out long enough to break what little trust remained. Finally, he muttered, "I don't know what she's talking about." The words hit Rasheeda like a blade. The uncertainty, the hesitation, it was worse than an outright confession. Her world crumbled as she realized the man she had defended through scandal after scandal might once again have betrayed her in the most unforgivable way. Fans, family, and the entire world now waited to see if this was the breaking point, the moment Rasheeda would finally walk away for good, or if somehow, against all odds, she would find a way to hold her marriage together in the face of the most public humiliation yet. The morning after Jasmine's cryptic sonogram post, the internet was in meltdown mode. Every blog, gossip site, and entertainment channel carried the headline, "Jasmine pregnant, Kirk Frost at the center of another scandal." Fans were losing their minds. Some were convinced it was real, others swore it was a stunt. But everyone agreed on one thing: if Kirk was truly the father, Rasheeda's marriage had reached its breaking point. Hashtags like #KirkBabyDrama and Rasheeda stepping out with a suitcase or Kirk trying to sneak away unnoticed. Inside, the atmosphere was tense and brittle, every word carrying the weight of years of unspoken resentment. Rasheeda sat at the kitchen counter, scrolling through endless mentions, her face tight with a mixture of fury and exhaustion. Kirk wandered in, cautiously, like a man approaching a wild storm, his voice low. "We need to talk about this, not let strangers define us." Rasheeda slammed her phone down. "Strangers didn't put that caption up, Kirk. Strangers didn't humiliate me. You did, by giving her enough space in your life to even feel bold enough to call you her husband." The children crept around the edges of the drama, their eyes wide, sensing the unraveling even if they didn't fully understand it. At one point, their son asked quietly, "Are you and Mom gonna split again?" The question hung in the air like a knife. Kirk's face hardened, but Rasheeda turned away, unwilling to let her children see the tears brimming in her eyes. Meanwhile, Jasmine doubled down on her social media game. She posted cryptic stories, shots of champagne glasses clinking, a pair of men's shoes by a hotel bed, and a sly caption, "Life's better when you stop hiding." Fans went wild, tagging Kirk's official account, demanding answers, accusing him of living a double life. Some even rallied to Rasheeda's side, flooding her page with messages of love and support, while others stirred the pot, asking if she was finally going to leave him for good. Behind closed doors, Kirk reached for Rasheeda's hand, his voice breaking. "Please, don't let her win by tearing us apart again. I swear, I'm not with her. She's trying to pull me back into her mess." Rasheeda yanked her hand away. "Then why does it always work, Kirk? Why does her chaos always find its way into our lives?" The family was fractured, the trust threadbare, and the weight of public scrutiny only made the cracks wider. Outside, cameras flashed. Inside, emotions burned. And while Rasheeda battled the betrayal in her own home, Jasmine smiled for her followers, fully aware that she had ignited a storm that could consume them all. The morning bled into afternoon and the storm only intensified. Rasheeda, exhausted from the night before, sat in the living room as calls from producers, friends, and even distant relatives came in non-stop. Everyone wanted a statement. Everyone wanted clarity. But what no one seemed to understand was that she hadn't even had the chance to breathe. Kirk paced the floor, muttering excuses under his breath, swearing he would fix it. But every time he opened his mouth, Rasheeda's glare silenced him. "You've been fixing it for years, Kirk. How many more times am I supposed to let you practice being sorry?" She snapped, her voice sharp enough to cut the air. Across town, Jasmine was relishing every second of the chaos. Her notifications were exploding, her follower count climbing, and gossip outlets were reaching out for interviews. She lounged in her silk robe, sipping coffee, her phone in hand as she posted yet another cryptic story, a blurry photo of a man's silhouette with the caption, "He'll always come back." Fans immediately connected the dots, and within minutes Kirk's name was trending, not just locally but nationally. By mid-afternoon, Rasheeda's best friend Kelsey stormed into the Frost house, phone in hand, eyes blazing. "You've seen what she's posting now. She's baiting you, Rasheeda. She's trying to humiliate you in front of the whole world." Rasheeda threw up her hands. "Don't you think I know that? Every time I close my eyes, I see that caption burned into my brain." Kirk tried to interject, insisting Jasmine was fabricating everything, but Kelsey cut him off. "Then why does she sound so confident? Why does she have the nerve to call you her hubby, unless she knows something we don't?" Kirk stammered, swore he hadn't seen Jasmine in months, but his hesitation was enough to ignite another round of shouting. Rasheeda stood, pointing a trembling finger at him. "I've defended you, Kirk. I've defended you when no one else would, when the world laughed at me for taking you back. And this is how you repay me." As the fight escalated, the kids retreated upstairs, covering their ears, their young faces etched with confusion and hurt. The cameras outside caught none of this, but the neighbors could hear every scream, every slammed door, and soon even that gossip was spilling into the streets. Meanwhile, Jasmine dialed up the drama, dropping a live video that set social media ablaze. She didn't say Kirk's name outright, but she didn't have to. Sometimes, men don't need to say much. She purred into the camera, her lips curling into a sly smile. "Their actions tell you who their heart belongs to. And let's just say, mine speaks loud." Within minutes, the video went viral, clips spreading on TikTok, fans debating whether she was confirming an ongoing affair or just taunting Rasheeda for attention. Either way, the damage was relentless. That evening, Rasheeda locked herself in the bedroom, scrolling through hateful comments from trolls who mocked her pain. Her tears stained the pillow as she whispered to herself, "Why do I keep letting this happen? Why do I let him drag me back into the same nightmare?" Kirk knocked on the door, his voice breaking. "Please, Rasheeda, let me in. Don't shut me out like this. You know I love you." But the door stayed closed, her silence louder than any words she could have spoken. Downstairs, Kelsey turned to Kirk with a look of pure disgust. "She deserves better than this. And deep down, you know it." Kirk collapsed into a chair, burying his face in his hands, the weight of years of mistakes finally crashing down. The world outside was demanding answers, but inside, the Frost family was unraveling piece by piece, the fractures widening into canyons. And still, Jasmine's laughter echoed online, her digital shadow stretching further into their lives, reminding them all that this battle was far from over. The night was heavy with silence, broken only by the faint buzz of Rasheeda's phone lighting up on the nightstand. She hadn't opened it in hours. But the notifications piled up like a storm. She couldn't escape, friends begging for her to speak out, fans demanding clarity, gossip outlets dangling offers for exclusives. Downstairs, Kirk sat slumped on the couch, his face pale, his mind spinning in circles of guilt and denial. Every corner of the house seemed to echo with tension, the kind that made even breathing feel dangerous. Kelsey stayed close by, refusing to leave Rasheeda alone in her anguish. While Kirk's phone rang endlessly with calls he didn't dare answer, Jasmine's name flashed again and again, each buzz a taunt he couldn't silence. Across town, Jasmine prepared her next move like a chess master who already saw victory on the horizon. She slipped into a sleek dress, painted her lips a defiant red, and snapped a photo of herself clinking glasses in a dimly lit restaurant. The caption read, "Celebrating love in secret tastes sweeter." Within minutes, fans dissected the photo, zooming in on the blurred figure across from her. Was it Kirk? Was it someone new? Or was it just bait? The mystery fueled speculation, and the narrative spiraled out of control. Bloggers posted theories, YouTubers uploaded reaction videos, and hashtags like #HubbyScandal and #PoorRasheeda trended worldwide. Jasmine sat back, scrolling through the chaos with a satisfied smirk, her glass raised in a toast to the mayhem she'd created. Meanwhile, Rasheeda finally emerged from the bedroom, her face blotched with tears but her posture sharp with resolve. She walked downstairs, every step heavy but deliberate. Kirk looked up, hopeful, but her gaze cut through him like ice. "Do you even understand what you've done to me? To us?" she demanded, her voice trembling with rage. Kirk scrambled to his feet, reaching out, but she stepped back. "Don't touch me. Don't say you're sorry. Just tell me why she feels bold enough to call you her husband in front of the world." His mouth opened, closed, opened again, but nothing coherent came out. That silence was louder than any admission. Kelsey shook her head in disgust, muttering under her breath, "Coward." The kids, restless and frightened, appeared at the top of the stairs. Their small voices cut through the argument. "Mom, Dad, are we okay?" The question shattered Rasheeda's composure. She turned away quickly, not wanting them to see her break again. Kirk, desperate, whispered, "Go upstairs. It's fine." But everyone in that house knew it wasn't fine. The family was crumbling under the weight of Jasmine's taunts, and the whole world was watching. Outside, the flash of cameras pierced through the curtains, proof that privacy no longer existed for them. Inside, Rasheeda's heart hardened as she whispered, almost to herself, "If you can't choose me, then I'll choose myself." The words hung in the air, final and unforgiving. Kirk's knees buckled, but Rasheeda didn't stop. She walked past him, through the door, into the swarm of paparazzi waiting outside. The bulbs exploded like fireworks as she kept her head high, her silence a powerful statement. Fans online erupted as photos of Rasheeda leaving the house alone hit every blog and timeline. For many, it was the image of a woman finally reaching her breaking point. And as Kirk stood frozen in the doorway, watching the woman he loved walk away, he realized that this time, there might be no way to fix it. Jasmine had lit the match, but it was Kirk's choices that let the fire burn out of control. And somewhere out there, Jasmine raised her glass again, whispering into the chaos, "Game over." The tension that had been simmering like a pot left too long on the stove, finally boiled over as the world outside the frost. Family walls refused to calm down. And inside, the emotional earthquake had left everything fractured beyond recognition. Rasheeda's silent walk past the paparazzi becoming an image replayed on every blog, every gossip page, every entertainment channel as the headline, "Rasheeda walks alone," became a symbol of heartbreak and defiance that fans dissected endlessly, some praising her strength, others pleading for reconciliation, while Kirk remained trapped inside the home that now felt more like a prison. Pacing in circles, his phone buzzing with calls he dared not answer, Jasmine's number flashing again and again as if mocking him, her voice already echoing in his head without her even speaking, while across town she basked in the glow of her own chaos, live streaming with a coy smile, her words carefully designed to sting without ever naming names. Some women hold on to broken men. Some men hold on to broken promises, and some of us, we just tell the truth and let the world decide. A line that instantly exploded across social media, turned into memes, captions, and endless commentary, with fans arguing whether she was exposing Kirk once and for all or simply playing another manipulative game. Yet either way, Rasheeda's heart bore the brunt of every comment, every notification, and every betrayal she had relived too many times before, her friends rallying around her like warriors in a battlefield, Kelsey never leaving her side, whispering promises that she didn't need him, that she could rebuild. That the world respected her resilience, even if Kirk didn't. But deep down Rasheeda wrestled with the haunting thought that every fight, every humiliation, had been broadcast to the world and that her private pain had long ago ceased being private. While Kirk in his desperation dialed numbers he thought could help, calling old friends, even a pastor, anyone who might convince Rasheeda to stay. But every conversation ended the same way. "She's done this time, Kirk. You can't keep expecting forgiveness like it's your birthright." And the words cut him deeper than any headline could, because he knew in his chest that they were true. Even as Jasmine escalated her performance by dropping a bombshell photo of a hand intertwined with hers at a dinner table, the caption reading simply, "Forever his. No matter who cries." A post that ripped through the internet like lightning, with fans zooming in on tattoos, analyzing wrist sizes, convinced it was Kirk's hand, convinced that Jasmine had one, while Rasheeda stared at the screen in disbelief, her stomach churning, her tears finally drying into a steel-cold rage that replaced heartbreak with a vow to never let herself be humiliated again. Her voice low but firm when she finally turned to Kelsey and said, "I'm done letting her write my story. It's time I tell my own." And in that moment the storm shifted. For a while Kirk buried his face in his hands downstairs, drowning in guilt, and Jasmine danced for her followers online. Intoxicated by attention, Rasheeda was already planning her next move. Her silence no longer a weakness but a weapon. A calculated choice that left the world desperate for her side. While whispers spread that she was meeting with producers to film a sit-down, to give the interview of the year, the one that could shatter every lie, and place the blame where it belonged. And as fans held their breath, torn between loyalty and curiosity, the Frost family saga moved from private pain into a public reckoning, with every eye watching, every camera flashing, and every heart bracing for the next revelation in a drama that had grown far larger than a caption, far deeper than a photo, and far more dangerous than any of them could have imagined. And just when it seemed the storm could not possibly grow darker, Jasmine added fuel to the flames with another calculated strike. A midnight post dripping with venom and sugar, all at once. A close-up selfie of her lips pressed against a man's cheek, cropped just enough to keep his face out of view. The caption reading, "No filter needed when love is real." A move that sent shockwaves racing through timelines and inboxes as fans gasped, screenshotted, and speculated with wild abandon. Some insisting it was Kirk, others claiming it was a decoy, but all agreeing on one thing: the drama had reached a fever pitch, and Rasheeda's silence was no longer sustainable. For every hour she kept quiet, the narrative slipped further out of her control. Though what the public didn't know was that Rasheeda was no longer broken but calculating. Her pain crystallized into resolve as she prepared to reclaim the power that Jasmine had toyed with. Her meetings behind closed doors stretching late into the night with confidants and producers, sketching out strategies not just to respond but to expose, to flip the script and remind the world that she was more than a headline, more than a meme, more than a woman scorned. And while Kirk begged for forgiveness like a man pleading for his life, she kept her gaze steady and her words sharp. "You've had a lifetime of chances, and each time you handed them to her instead of me." A statement that left Kirk hollow, unable to reply, his own family turning cold as even his children avoided eye contact, their young hearts carrying confusion too heavy for their age, while the media outside spun every new detail into spectacle, with morning shows running segments titled Hubby Scandal Fallout and YouTubers dissecting Jasmine's every smirk. And amid this circus, Jasmine strutted through the chaos like a queen of destruction, granting cryptic interviews, dropping subtweets aimed at Rasheeda's strength, and laughing at the fury she had unleashed. But late at night when the cameras dimmed and the comments slowed, a flicker of doubt haunted her too, because deep down she wondered whether she had overplayed her hand, whether this time the world wasn't laughing with her but at her, though she drowned those fears in champagne and bravado, whispering to her reflection, "They'll always choose me in the end," as though repeating it could make it true. While Rasheeda, standing firm in her silence, allowed anticipation to build like pressure in a sealed chamber, her friends urging her to strike when the timing was perfect, her mind already rehearsing the words she would speak when the moment came, words that would not only clear her name but burn Kirk's and Jasmine's games to ash, because in her heart, she knew the final chapter wasn't about betrayal but about power. And as the world refreshed their feeds, waiting for her move, she stood poised to deliver it, unshaken, unbroken, and ready to turn heartbreak into the kind of strength that no caption could ever diminish. In moments like these, when truths are revealed and hidden realities come crashing into the light, the choice is no longer whether to look away but whether to stand firm and claim the place you deserve in history. Because if you have followed this story until now, you already know it is not simply gossip or whispers, but a mirror held to power. a reflection of betrayal, resilience, and the unrelenting courage required to face storms that others cannot endure. And I want you to feel the weight of this moment as more than entertainment. I want you to see it as a call to action, an invitation to refuse silence when silence only benefits those who exploit it, to stand where others are too afraid to stand, and to give voice to what others bury, because every single time you share, comment, support, or amplify, you are not just boosting a video, you are carving your initials into the wall of resistance against manipulation, against injustice, against the carefully constructed illusions that powerful people would rather you believe. So let this not be another story you scroll past. Let it be the beginning of your own declaration that you matter, that your voice matters, and that when we come together, even the most guarded secrets can be broken open and reshaped into something that serves truth rather than deception. And if you want more than a passing glance, if you want the next chapter to arrive not hidden, not delayed, but delivered directly to you, then this is your moment to subscribe, to follow, to claim your place in a community that does not cower, that does not tremble, but that faces even the hardest revelations with unflinching resolve. Because think about it, every empire that has fallen began with a whisper of defiance. And today, your click, your voice, your decision to not let this moment fade, is that whisper. And whispers grow into storms. Storms grow into movements, and movements change the world. So if you have felt the intensity of what has been uncovered here, if your chest tightened when the lies unfolded and your heart raced when the hidden truth cracked open, then you already know you are part of something bigger. And I am asking you to act on it now, not later, not when it is convenient, but now. Because hesitation is the ally of silence, and silence is the ally of those who wish to keep you uninformed, powerless, and subdued. And I will not allow that. I will not allow their narrative to stand unchallenged. So I am asking you, right now, listening, watching, reading, breathing, to choose courage over comfort, to choose action over apathy, and to let your presence be felt. Not tomorrow, not in another life, but here, today. And the simplest way to begin is to take your hand, move it, press that button, leave your mark, write your truth, share this story, because in that act, you are no longer a spectator. You become a participant, and participants shape outcomes. Participants leave legacies. Participants matter. And do not for a second believe that you are too small to move the needle, because every voice that ever created change once thought itself small. Every person who ever shook the foundation of power once wondered if their single choice was enough. And it was, and yours will be too, if you let it. So take this as your chance, your summons, your personal call to rise above the noise, to answer not only with belief but with action. Because I promise you, what comes next will demand strength, and you will want to be ready, connected, and part of the only place where truth will not be silenced. So subscribe now, join now, speak now, and let this moment be the one where you decided to matter more than the shadows ever intended.